Good afternoon to all the media houses present. I wish to take this opportunity to thank you for your time and patience over the past hour in witnessing this particular press briefing by the Gambia Immigration Department. My name is Siman Lo. I am the Public Relations Officer of the Gambia Immigration Department. With me here today, ASI Bojang, 2IC to OC of Migration, and I also have Chief Superintendent Omar F. Sidikan, Coordinator of Border Patrol Units within the Gambia here. The purpose of this press briefing is to engage with the media on the updates of what we have done so far with regards to irregular migration. And this particular briefing will outline to you what particular success have we registered as a department in our fight against irregular migration. So to start with, on the 21st of October 2024 at around 2 a.m., officers at the Barra Immigration Post had intercepted 25 immigrants, suspected immigrants, who were believed to have been going towards a departure into the irregular backway. And this interception was conducted after the officers had received a tip-off with regards to an immediate potential departure of certain immigrants. On the same vein, in that particular occasion, the same station where we have Barra also had intercepted 26 suspected migrants within the Gambia who also were departing from the lands of the Gambia to travel to other countries. Within this interception, the officers were able to also hold along certain materials that were believed to have been transported along while they were traveling. Among these materials included 48 gallons of 20 liters oil, 20 liters of fuel that was supposed to be used in these transactions. We've also intercepted one boat Yamaha engine that is presumably supposed to be used in this particular quest as well. Among those materials also included food items that were believed to have been used by these alleged immigrants while they were traveling towards the departure. So all in all, on that particular day, that is 21st October 2024, the officers at Barra had intercepted 51 suspected immigrants along the Barra post. And this particular number includes 49 male suspected immigrants and also 2 female as well. We've also had 3 minors who are part of this particular group that had been intercepted. Now moving along, if you look at their aggregate based on nationalities, within the 51 we had, 46 of them are believed to be Gambians, 2 of them are believed to be from Guinea-Conakry, 1 of them is a Senegalese. We also had 1 from Nigeria and 1 from Sierra Leone as well. So all in all, you have the 51 in the first interceptions. In a similar vein, but a separate venture, with regards to our fight against irregular migration, we had also had interceptions along the Gunjur-Sambuya highway. In Gunjur, officers yesterday, 22nd of October 2024, had also received of activities towards irregular migration, and then they had taken efforts towards mitigating this particular practice. In this interception, which occurred around 3:15 a.m. towards 4 a.m., they were able to intercept 25 suspected immigrants in the Gunjur-Sambuya area. Among this number of 25 people, we had 22 Gambians, 1 Senegalese, and 2 from Guinea-Bissau as well. Now, going by the aggregate based on gender, this number included 24 male and 1 female who are also found to be suspects in this case. Now, if you look at the total interception we have received over the past 2 days, that is October 21st at Barra and also October 22nd at Gunjur-Sambuya, we have been able to at least intercept 76 suspected immigrants from the Gambia looking for a way to be able to transit and move to other countries. And overall, among this number, we have 73 of them as male, and again, we have 3 of them as female. Among this number, again, includes 3 minors who are involved to have also been taking efforts towards this particular quest as well. Now, when we look at the nationality aggregation of the overall 2 interceptions we had received on the 21st of October, likewise 22nd, we have received 68 Gambians who were involved in this suspected irregular migration route. Amongst them also includes 2 Senegalese, 2 Guinea-Conakry, 2 Guinea-Bissau, and also 1 Nigerian and 1 Sierra Leonese. Now, these had been efforts that GID had been taken towards making sure that we promote our mandate to control, monitor, and regulate the movement of people within, outside, and into the Gambia. The department remains staunch in making sure that we are able to mitigate this practice, which has kept families heartbroken, left parents childrenless, and have also put us to an edge whereby we have seen Gambians who have perished in this perilous journey. And it is through this quest we want to make sure that we would increase our efforts, embolden our officers, provide the grounds whereby anybody who attempts to get involved into this irregular migration will be curtailed by the department. Through efforts which we have made with COP Gambia, we have been partners towards this particular initiative. We've also made efforts with the Gambia Navy, SIS, the Gambia Police Force, who have also been helping a lot, Guardia Civil, together with the Gambia Red Cross Society. The department takes a commitment to make sure that we will make efforts, devise policies and mechanisms that will help us mitigate the practice of irregular migration. And this serves as a warning. It again serves as an indication to you that we are not sitting in our corners doing nothing, but officers are all over the country making efforts to making sure that we are able to control this menace as a country. As media personnel and the public at large, we want to indulge upon your support to make sure that we support the department in its efforts to fight against irregular migration. Over the past years, we have witnessed an increase in the number of people taken upon the back way. And we hold it upon ourselves as a mandate to make sure that we devise these mechanisms and be able to safeguard the image of our country. So with these interceptions, we indicate to you our resolute commitment in making sure that issues of irregular migration becomes a thing of the past within the Gambian borders. Thank you. At this juncture, if you have any questions you would want to ask with regards to these interceptions, we will gladly be able to take your questions and make full clarifications. Yes, please. Kindly indicate your name and the media house that you represent while asking the question, please.
What's next after Intercept? What is next for them?
Thank you very much, Janke. That is indeed a very important question. I think it is one thing to make efforts to fight against irregular migration, but a second thing to also proactive measures that is going to mitigate this practice. Now, what is next is, after these people had been received, they are profiled, and we have made our investigations. Then when we find evidences of being able to prosecute them, that is what we do. So as of now, I can show you an indication, for example, that we have many cases that have been taken to the court, where judges are able to engage and confirm whether they have found culprits of this particular case or not. So the next effort is to prosecute all those who are found to be liable of these particular practices, more especially the agents involved in this case.
And I understand that agents, they don't face much punishment for engaging in irregular migration, like the boat owners, the agents. So what are you doing to ensure that they face higher punishment? Because that is the reason they still have people that are going. If they are not there, they will not have people willing to go.
Thank you very much, Fanta. I wouldn't want to preempt the efforts of the judicial sector in how will they punish culprits within this country. We are legal implementation partners. What we do is to prosecute them. Now, it is the jury that decides what should be their punishments. So with regards to what should be done to punish them, we have made our efforts by prosecuting them, and whatever the judge decides is what will be the fate of that case. We just have to focus within our mandate and provide our right guidances. Thank you.
I know when you intercept, you must have asked them some questions as to why they are backing of this. Even though most of them know that these kids are dying,
Sure.
their relatives have been dying, some of them are dying, but it's still only as you said, the number is increasing
Sure.
day by day, month by month. What are they telling you? Are they legal reasons?
So that is quite a very important question, but then I wouldn't want to dwell more into the push factors of irregular migration. That is a policy matter. That is not within the mandate of the Immigration Department. Our job is to, like I said before, is to regulate, control and monitor people's movement within, inside and outside this country. So with regards to what pulls them away from this country, I cannot tell. Perhaps we can engage with the government spokesperson or Minister of Information on that particular regard. Thank you so much. Yes, please.
Every year we lose a number of young people through this country. Don't you think that it's time for immigration to come up with legal instruments that will at least help in the fight against this menace? Because always after this ceremony, they go back home.
Sure.
See, is them going back home, trying to at least strengthen their financial muscles and then come back. So don't you think with effective, legal instruments, this people they have to feel some form of litigation,
sure,
then the directive will change. So don't you think it's high time that we come up?
Indeed, if you ask me, don't we think we should get the legal instruments, the answer would be yes. But then the department is not also sitting doing nothing on these issues. As I speak to you, we have an immigration act that is currently in progress. Immigration bill that is currently in progress. And the purpose of this bill is to provide reformations with regards to how we operate, with regards to migrations, refugee matters, and how the department entirely is controlled. So as a matter of fact, we're making efforts to make sure that the department have those legal instruments that will be able to safeguard our mandate and also promote a deterrent to most of these actions within the country as well. Thanks. Yes, please.
I'm proud about it. Two questions. One is a follow-up from what my colleague asked.
Okay.
In your statement, you said that when you intercepted these individuals, you intervened to obtain information from them.
Sure.
But you deterred from speaking about the push factors. I'm sure some of them must tell you the push factors. And you are saying that the GID is not mandated to speak on that area, but GID is an established institution.
Sure.
You make recommendations, and you are responsible for migration issues.
That's
So you are aware of the push factors that is there with you.
That's right.
Sharing the doesn't mean that you're jeopardizing with the government or whatever. My next question is that what are the challenges that you face to mitigate this irregular migration? Because it is an issue that is reported every day.
Thank you very much. I will still reiterate that I wouldn't dwell into the post factors of these suspected irregular migrants. That will be a topic of a different day with a different stakeholder involved. But in regards to what challenge do we face as a department in trying to mitigate the practice of irregular migration, I would say that despite countless efforts we have been making towards this effort, our migration management unit has been making so much work together with the border patrol unit and other units to mitigate this practice. However, we are still confronted with certain challenges. Amongst these includes the issue of mobility. We can understand the logistical requirements of some of these actions. For instance, when we had people being intercepted in Barra, for instance, they have to be transported all the way to Tangi here, and that requires transportation. So we have a challenge when it comes to mobility. Another challenge that we face as a department, despite the expertise, despite the commitment of our officers to do their work, despite the policy reformations, is the legal instruments in place to be able to provide a deterrent, like I said before, to some of these practices. While we can prosecute them, it is not in our powers to be able to prosecute them to face jail terms. That is within the power of the judicial system. But we believe that when we have effective and efficient legal instruments to support our work, it will promote our desire as a department. And another thing that we also sometimes face as a challenge would be the case of, in some occasions, reception facilities. Like you all know, that when it comes to investigation, you sometimes need some time to be with those suspected individuals and then find out exactly what transpired. And this requires you to provide them feeding. It requires you to provide them a place where they can stay. So we would also indulge upon support from anybody to be able to help us get more reception places where we can keep these suspected people while they go in for investigations as much as possible. So these three are key in our weaknesses as a department, and we look for support from other stakeholders as well. Thank you so much.
How many interceptions have you done from January?
From January to date, we have received countless interceptions. The recent cases that I just gave you, we have 73. But then I will not be able to provide the exact statistics onto how much we are able to get. But I will show you, for instance, that as of now, we have 33 cases that have been investigated in the department. And this case includes numerous individuals. In a case, you can sometimes have many people involved in that particular case. Among these 33 cases still, we have 30 intercepts that are being made out of this number. And in the same case, we have also 6 cases that are currently in the court. Among these 6, 2 of them we had a verdict already, and they had been convicted on their crime. And then the other 4 rather, are currently pending cases, which we're still looking for more judicial efforts to be able to at least provide a case. So we have been making a lot, and we have raised so much over the past months.
So finally,
your name, please, if I may. Okay. Yes, please.
So the president, during his address this time around at the UN level, he mentioned something which is very important, which is calling on the international community to come up with regulations in terms of mitigating irregular migration.
Sure.
What does this mean to you in terms of your commitment in coping irregular migration in the gap? This has become a challenge for every individual. Every family in this country is affected.
Sure.
Young people are dying on a daily basis. So how committed is GID in terms of coping irregular migration?
Thank you so much, Aissatou. If I could go beyond 100% to show commitment, I would say we are 200% committed towards this menace. But then we have to also understand the fact that fighting against this particular menace is a concerted effort, collectively. It's not only within the powers of the GID. Family members are sometimes aware of these issues. We are the very ones who sometimes finance these projects. So if you want to fight against irregular migration, it has to be collective responsibility. We do our part at our own powers. The family members at home do their part. And those who also want to indulge into this power also know what waits them in the long run. So it becomes a collective effort. So we are fully geared towards this particular fight against irregular migration. Thank you. Do we have any other questions? Okay, so if we have no further questions, I would just want to acknowledge again the partners we have been working with over the past months in making sure that we implement these programs. I want to give a special gratitude to COP Gambia, who have been helping when it comes to operations and also investigation. I also want to acknowledge the efforts of Guardia Civil, who had also given us support when it comes to patrols, in our joint patrols. The Gambia Red Cross Society as well for always offering psychosocial support and also trying to put our suspected individuals into good order before any other thing. The Gambia Navy, the Gambia Police Force, and also SIS for always being there for the GID when it comes to this kind of cases.
Just a recommendation based on public perception. In many countries, when migrants are intercepted, the media is invited at the juncture where interception is being done as the immigration receiver people. If is GID ready to also do that when they receive tip-off, to invite the media so that the evidence will show that? Because in many times people believe that some of these people intercepted are just accused while they are not actually committing the act.
Okay. I believe the evidences are real and eminent. You as GID, as media person, have already seen what is on the ground here. I don't think the department has any interest in providing what is not going to be real in the work that we do. The typical case would be, at 2 a.m. late at night, what does it mean you're doing at that particular spot in time? Most of these things we do are based on intelligence report that we receive from people. And sometimes it comes very urgently. So it's, of course, part of our commitment to make sure we engage the media personnel in the work that we do. But that, again, will require certain sacrifices. So we are prepared and ready to make sure we involve the media houses in the work that we do in trying to mitigate irregular migration.
One more question. How many people have been intercepted this time around? Like, in total? Some have 67, some have 76. So how many people?
Thank you very much. It seems you haven't taken your breakfast yet, but then I will still have to reiterate that. So we had 2 interceptions, like I said. The first one we had 51, that is in Barra. And the second one is where we had 25 intercepts. So if you put this together, it gives you 76 interceptions altogether. If you have no further questions, then I take this honor to extend my regards to the High Command of the Gambia Immigration Department for the support they have rendered to the immigration officers in doing their work, and also for the media houses to be here with us today in this media briefing. I take the honor to say it is good to be with you, and we look forward to working with you in furtherance to our mandate as a department. Thank you.